Hey guys.
Hello.
Welcome to Serial Killer, the podcast where we pair serial killers with cereal. Because why not?
Hooray.
A bowl of delight.
I'm Maria Scrittolozzi.
Oh yes, and I'm Anastasia Washington.
We remembered this time.
We remembered, and we'll remember every time.
Yes, for sure, but
for
maybe not.
Sure, but maybe not. Going with the boy, girl,
Yeah.
we've got
Our next lady.
Our next lady killer. And she's pretty special.
She is a very special one.
She's complicated.
This is one of the, I think, my most favorite just whole situations as far as like serial killers go. Yeah.
We're gonna definitely get into my favorite around Halloween. But she's up there.
She's fascinating.
She's fascinating. She's complicated. She's sympathetic.
Yeah. Yeah, but also like cold and heartless.
Yeah. We're talking about Aileen Wuornos.
Yes.
I said that right? I was thinking the last name Wuornos.
Wuornos, yeah.
Wuornos, right?
Yeah. Aileen. She went by Lee mostly.
Lee. Good old Lee. And I was trying. So her actual last meal was coffee. Which surprisingly, you guys, there's no coffee cereal. And I did think about getting Coffee Crisp. Chocolate bars, which are delicious, and crumbling off and putting milk. But then that's not really a cereal, so that's just my fantasy.
Yeah, no,
it's different.
But no one will sell that in a box as cereal.
I would definitely eat it.
Just eat it as cereal.
Candy bar cereal. But so she did pick up a lot of people at like truck stops and stuff like that. And truck stops have those little tiny Hostess donut packages, and so. By a very long chain of A to Z-ing this shit, we have Hostess Donettes, right?
Donuts, powdered mini donuts. So it's supposed to be those amazing powdered Hostess donuts, but in a cereal. And also they sell honey bun donuts, or cereal. That's
We're gonna have
unrelated,
to
but I need to try that now.
Try new Hostess honey bun cereal too. Okay.
So now you can have your favorite donuts as breakfast cereal with all of these added vitamins again.
This is so funny because on the back it says, mini donuts bring mega smiles. Yeah, they do.
That's
but
definitely
I'm not sure this cereal will. Hostess donuts are so bad for you. Like when you read them, they're just, like they used to have lard. Now they have like hydrogenated oil.
Ugh.
Which I much prefer lard. Sorry. That must be the
at least lard comes from an animal.
Yeah. At least lard has a source. Not space.
I don't know where
not space food.
Androgenated oil comes from.
It's like a space fat. Just like
sucked out of the ecosystem.
Harvesting it from like some alien source. I know there's a source. Somebody's gonna be like, the science behind hydrogenated. And listen, you're right. I'm wrong. 100%. I'm not going to say I'm right, but isn't it more funny? More funny?
Yeah, funnier.
Isn't it funnier? Go to town on me.
It's been a day.
It's been a life. It's been a lifetime.
Well, it's been a better lifetime than Aileen.
That's true. But we are going to
we're gonna dive into these
powdered mini donuts. So, you know in the donut, they used to have that pack where it's like crumble donuts, powdered donuts, and chocolate donuts?
Yes.
I only like the chocolate.
Oh no, I like the crumble donuts. I don't really like powdered donuts just because it's so much.
It's like cocaine.
Sugar. Yeah, and then you're just like covered in it the way that craft glitter gets everywhere.
Yeah, glitter and powder sugar are the herpes of the world. And I hear that crinkle, which means that we're about to have...
Whoa!
Wait,
that smells like straight cake mix.
Oh, I don't hate it.
That just smells like I opened a box of Funfetti mix.
I'm actually now excited. I was like,
I just want to smell this.
It smells really good.
So good.
It's very white inside.
Wow.
Here, you guys. You can't see it. It's very
Did you
white.
see a blob of white? Because it's just powdered donuts.
It's like bright.
Yeah,
okay.
do it.
Alright, I'm pouring it. That's never a good idea.
That's good.
Alright.
Okay. More.
Oh, fuck me! Fuck!
Oh, and they're they're all like clumpy. Oh, I'm about.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh shit! You guys that aren't aren't watching, I did it with
Anastasia
classic
poured
style.
herself a full entire bowl of cereal.
And now I'm putting it in the box. Like a classy lady.
Okay, I'm gonna eat one raw.
Okay, oh yeah, I should do that too. Hold on.
Those taste weird. It's just like sugary cardboard.
You guys, I don't like.
It's like sugary cardboard.
I don't like what just happened.
I'm just like, let's see what it's like with milk.
Okay, I'm adding milk. Ew, like what happened? All right, I'm gonna soak it a little bit because I feel like
Yeah,
this
let
one really needs to soak.
Let it absorb. The thing that I've noticed with cereals is that some of them, if you let them soak, they get this like foamy outer layer that's really weird.
You know, that's just sugar clumping together and having
Forming
just,
like
foamy,
foamy, sugary jello.
There's probably some kind of weird gelatin-based shit that we shouldn't eat in our system, but it's really good for our nails.
Yeah, this box did not say no high fructose corn syrup. That's a no. Knife down. Knife down over here.
I actually don't know how to feel. Definitely not dry. Don't need this one dry.
No,
Like
it's,
at all.
it tastes so weird dry.
With milk, it tastes like if Fruit Loops didn't have a fruit flavor. Like they made a mistake
Yeah.
in the factory,
That is exactly what it tastes like.
and they were like, "Oh, we forgot to put the strawberry fake flavoring,
The guava or whatever.
whatever the fuck it is." That's what it tastes like. It's not horrible. Would I buy it again? No.
It's better than the banana. I think that's gonna be like my rank
Maybe
for
just-
lowest.
Listen, my knife's on the table, but it's not up.
But it's not down.
It's not down. It's not like, it's not fallen, it's not down. It's like resting. It's a resting knife.
Like this is a cereal you can eat, but I don't know why you would want to because there are so many better options.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna rest my knife. My knife is rested.
I'm fully down.
She's fully
knife down.
I might
Don't
be,
recommend.
I think I'm an easier cereal assessor than you in general, though.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck this cereal. And I'm
I've
like,
strong cereal
and I'm like,
opinions.
this cereal tried. Let's just read some of the ingredients. Dextrose.
Nope,
Dextrose.
That's not a thing.
Sugar. Corn flour. Hydrogenated vegetable oil. From coconut.
Wait, are you
palm
going like
kernel
in
oil.
order?
Yes.
Oh god
Yes,
damn
I
it!
am.
So dextrose is the number one thing. Like that is
Yeah.
the most in this. Gross.
Correct. And we've got some wheat flour, some
Mhm.
whole grain oat flour.
Okay.
Oh, whole grain oat
Oh,
flour.
that's
That's
good
full
for
grain.
you.
Corn syrup again.
Again, a different type of corn syrup. now.
Yep. Salt, canola oil, calcium carbonate. What is calcium? Isn't that something that is not good?
Calcium carbonate.
Is that like baking soda?
Yeah, baking soda is sodium bicarbonate.
Oh, that's
so
what I'm
it's
thinking.
similar.
Titanium dioxide for color.
Oh.
There's no fucking
This is-
color.
Maybe it's to get rid of the color, to bleach the color, because this cereal
We're eating
is
bleach.
pale.
And then just natural and artificial flavor.
Oh, I hate when they say that.
Of what? Of what?
I buy fizzy water because I'm such a cunt.
Yeah.
And it always is like natural and artificial flavors, but it's never like lemon, grapefruit. It just tells me like generic artificial flavor, and I'm like, that does not make me comforted.
And then it says BHT added to preserve freshness. What's BHT? Is that a boy
It's
band?
it's yes,
It's a boy
the
band.
new Korean boy band.
I am into it. BHT fan forever. But you know, it does have 4% of your folic acid.
Folic acid's good for you. It's good for those nails.
It's good for your nails.
That
It's also
folic
good
acid.
if you're gonna have babies.
Yes, that's a lot of what is in prenatal vitamins.
Yep. So there's some good.
It's that there's
Oh.
preservatives in this cereal.
On the very bottom it says produced with genetic engineering.
That's horrifying.
What are we eating? I'm gonna take another bite.
Oh my god.
Genetic engineering.
This cereal tastes like Aileen Wuornos.
Poor thing. I hope she tastes better. We can ask her girlfriend.
Yeah, her girlfriend's still out there somewhere.
I would assume so. It was like not that long ago.
That's true. But I don't know, her...
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she testified against her. She was real...
She was the Oscar Wilde situation, you know? Yeah, Oscar Wilde got turned in by his boyfriend. Fuck that shit.
Poor Oscar Wilde.
I know, he's God. He is bae. Gladly be his beard. Also, in Mindhunter, Jonathan Groff, if you needed a beard, I would be that beard. Also, I would just be there for you sexually. I know you don't want it, but I'm just trying to help.
Have you seen the...
Everything of him?
No. Have you seen how many people are thirsty for Bill Tench?
Really?
Oh my god. Everyone on my Twitter feed is like, after that.
Really?
They love him. I am about it too. I can see it. He's that... and then I read an excerpt from an article that was like, everyone on the internet's thirsty for him. And it was someone talking about how he portrays the like traditional masculine qualities, but without being a fucking chauvinist pig. Yeah. And so he like provides for his family and tries to like be there and be a man, and he has this like
his wife is
square marine like build.
Okay, well now I know.
I'm hot and then he's got that voice that right?
All right, I'll take him. I would be
take
him
in
that sandwich.
His unfortunate son.
Yeah. Yeah. At least everyone knows what to do with him.
It's true.
Okay.
Everyone knows. That's true.
I mean, it didn't help the baby, but.
But anyway,
is that a spoiler? Sorry, you guys.
Definite possible spoilers if you.
Well, it's too late. We didn't even say spoiler. I'll put it in the blurb that we missed.
We made spoilers of My Tender, and I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
It's been out 2 weeks. Where have you been? I think so.
Feels like
a week, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
That might be a week. I'm mostly unemployed right now, so my days all blur together. So I have no idea when things happen.
Watch the fuck out of it, real fast.
Real fast.
So Aileen Wuornos. Yes. Who is not covered in Mindhunter because I
not
feel
yet.
Like we're very far away from that date.
Yeah, I don't totally know what date we're at in Mindhunter.
Well,
I'm always blurry. It's whenever the Atlanta Child.
We're at the Atlanta Child.
Yeah, it's whenever that got resolved. So I want to say it's late 70s.
81.
Okay.
81. And Aileen Wuornos.
She was 92, 93, I think.
Let me just. Did she have a son? What's happening?
Yeah, she gave her son up for adoption when she was 14.
Oh, that's right.
She's also married.
So 1989 and 1990. So we're getting there.
And then she was in like 93. I don't know. She had like a bunch of retrials, and she had to get tried in like 6 different counties for all of her murders.
Yeah. She has a complicated life.
Yeah, right from the beginning, her life is pretty... It's a lot like Charlie Manson's from the get-go. Like, born to a poor, like, young parents who don't really want her.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the most common denominator in a lot of these, and I think most, those books, like Mindhunter and all those who would tell you, is, like, neglect. Extreme neglect. Extreme abandonment.
Yeah, abuse early on.
And she was like the textbook case. And the thing is, like, she was like an actual female serial killer. Like, I feel like sometimes with the female ones that we have, we don't have like this traditional like serial killer feel about them. There's like poisoning or hiding. Stuff like that, or there's like an extreme like
it's a response to something.
Whereas hers is a response to violence.
That's what it starts as, but then it just seems like to become
she has an MO. She has she's killing these guys. She's stealing their cars. She's taking their money. Which in a way you can kind of say is like a necessity and
but at the same time she's been a prostitute for years up until this point and had apparently not had any problem with it.
So the first case, or the first time that she did it, apparently, I guess we can't substantiate just about anything, but
I believe her in this instance because this
too.
is a dude who was in jail for 10 years for sexual assault, so like it's really not unreasonable that he would have tried to rape her,
which is such a sad
also
statement.
because like prostitutes are really high on the victim list for rape victims, which makes sense. It's not part of their profession, but like we're entering into a sexual scenario with someone into a vulnerable position, and I could see how a lot of men would just take advantage of that.
Yeah, and I mean it's hard to even get statistics about rape in general because it's
so many people don't report it.
Underreported.
Yeah.
For so many reasons.
But yeah, so the first guy that Aileen killed was Mallory.
And it was because he got violent with her and raped her.
Yeah.
And in a response, and not in response, but to protect herself.
In self-defense.
In self-defense, she killed him.
Yep. Yeah. He had a gun, or did she?
I thought he had a gun
that she took. That's what I thought too. Okay.
I thought he was like threatening her.
Yeah, and he like tied her up.
And then tied her up and stuff. And again,
there's Nick Bloomfield did 2 different documentaries about Aileen, and in those they have her court testimony where she tells exactly what happened in this case.
So if you, again, we're not experts, we just
read a lot of articles and watched a lot of documentaries,
and we're just we just talk about it. So we're not going to always be accurate, and if you are accurate about it, please let us know, because we are not afraid of facts.
No.
We just aren't always filled with them. But yeah, so somehow she gains control of the situation and she kills him. So that is the first killing, which again seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Seems
self-defense.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Then we go into the second crime, which if the movie and if some of her stuff is to be believed, is triggered by a PTSD reaction.
Mm-hmm.
She's in a similar situation. I'm not 100% sure if the guy is as violent as the guy, or if something happens. Something clicks in her brain, because like, listen, PTSD is like fucking real.
It's no joke.
And there's so many different degrees, and there's so many different ways that you can get it. And like, I really wish people would talk about it, because it's not even just like, you don't have to be brutally raped to have PTSD.
No, I know someone who has PTSD and isn't a vet or hasn't gone through any type of like traumatic experience like that, but still went through something traumatic enough for them to have it be PTSD.
Exactly.
Yeah, every person's different.
Every person's different.
And that's the thing about Aileen, is like she did have so many hardships, and so much stuff was just so shit for her, that there is an incredible amount of sympathy that I feel, at least, towards her, because of all of the things that she ended up sort of having to do. Yeah. And also because I'm a woman and she was killing all these dudes who were hiring this prostitute, I'm kind of like, yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of the sad things about the sex industry, is that these girls aren't protected, and men.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
These girls.
Yeah. I mean,
these women and men are not protected.
Yeah. Pimps are not protection.
Pimps are
awful.
just as bad.
Yeah.
As some of the violence that they're going to.
Some of these people that they are going to inflict violence upon them.
Most of the time, it's worse than the violence that they're going to get on the streets. But nobody protects them. Nobody cares about them, and that is so sad. And that's why, when people are like, "Oh, I would never want prostitution to be legal," I'm like, why? Because I would love them to be taken care of.
It'd be so nice.
I would love them to be able to report this stuff.
Yeah. To
go to people and not be afraid that they were going to be locked up.
Yeah.
For a crime that's not even a fucking crime. If I can give it away, I should be able to sell it. Like, I could be like, I don't want this action figure anymore. I can either give it away or I can sell it.
You could sell pictures of you can sell pictures of your feet to foot fetishists. And that's totally legal. but selling actual acts of sex.
Also, you can do porn.
Yeah,
You
porn
can
is
do
totally
amateur
legal.
porn. You can do you can do all kinds
Yeah,
of
filming
porn.
yourself having sex and making
Totally
money off
legal.
it is totally
It does
legal.
not fucking make sense, and
It's
I
so
think it's
stupid.
a very systematic
It
attack
is. It's
on women and gay men.
Yeah.
And the transgender community. It's like an attack on them because those are the people that are usually the sex workers, and nobody protects them, and nobody gives a shit when things happen to them. And you would have to give a shit if people were allowed to report it.
Oh yeah, well if you look at, I studied abroad in the Netherlands for a semester in college, and we went to the red light district in Amsterdam and talked to a former sex worker, and she like gave us the lay of the land, and most of them, it's like if you're a hairdresser and you rent a salon chair. You just rent a space, rent a room, a window, whatever it is. You charge whatever you're gonna charge for your services, and then X% gets kicked back as rent. And you just set your own hours, you make your own time, like...
I think of the safety of that.
It's a
You're
small
in a
business,
facility.
yeah. You're in a place, people know what you're doing, they know
Exactly.
what's going on.
People can check on you.
They
people
have
can do stuff like that.
mobile vans that go around and will give free health care to the sex workers, so that everyone's getting STD tested, everyone's have condoms, have all of those
Sounds like
things.
a good system to
It's
me.
such a better system because everyone's taken care of, and you can
Right.
still go and buy sex if you want to.
Whereas what Aileen had to go through, or Aileen,
Yeah.
or
Lee.
let's call her Lee.
Yeah, that's what she likes to be called, I guess.
Well, then let's respect that. Lee went through
just
pain.
pain and trauma. And it seemed like from from Monster, from the movie, and I watched like a little bit of the documentaries.
The documentary was
too.
also really good.
Yeah.
I believe it's still on Netflix.
They're both on Amazon Prime.
Oh, Amazon
Yeah,
Prime,
they're both
okay.
on Amazon Prime for free.
For a bit, it was Netflix.
It was on
these
Netflix.
these
They
streaming
keep
things
changing
change a lot.
But she wasn't like one of those prostitutes like in Pretty Woman. Like she wasn't on a street corner like in her
No.
slutty outfit. She was just like, she sort of did it under the guise of hitchhiking.
Yeah.
And would get in this car and then like feel out the target, and if they weren't into it, then it would just be, okay, drop me off up here, and then she'd try someone else.
Which is so dangerous.
Horribly dangerous.
Horribly
And this
dangerous.
was like the late 80s, early 90s when
And I
people
totally get
were
why she did
starting to be like, don't get in strangers' cars, don't talk to people you don't know. But yeah, it was tragic. And she at some point hooked up with her girlfriend. What is her name?
I will research right now. We knew it just from the
A
beginning.
minute ago. Yeah, who like was with her, and it was unclear. She wasn't involved in any of the actual crimes. She was just with Aileen, like traveling with her, with Lee.
Right. I don't think she was even very. Well, I guess she was enough to rat on her.
Yeah, she knew enough, but it seemed like she just knew that Lee was going out and getting these jobs.
Tyria Moore.
Yes, that's it.
It's Tyria.
Yeah,
Tyria.
Tyria.
These are interesting names.
Yeah, and she was like a middle class girl, and Lee tried to get her parents to like send her money, and then the cops started asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it all unfolded from there.
And it seems like so they were together 4 years, and all 7 of the incidents.
Yeah,
or
happened.
not incidents.
Murders.
All 7 of the murders happened while they were together.
Yeah.
Which is why I guess she would be privy to all the information about that. And it was probably more information of like where and
Yeah,
Also,
that type of stuff.
I feel like she really ratted her out.
She did.
And I'm sorry for the victims, some of them.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry for the victims' families who have to like live with that. But
Well, I mean, I don't want to shame any guy that wants to.
no. If you want to go to a prostitute, go to a prostitute.
That does not
like live your life.
That does not deserve. You don't
But
deserve.
if you're
gonna
gonna try and abuse a prostitute,
Yeah.
that's a very different story.
But that's the thing is like you don't know how many of them actually
Were,
did.
yeah.
We do know, or we do speculate that the first one was a brutal.
Yeah,
Because it did seem like it was a brutal.
kicked
like,
off this whole
Right.
thing.
It seemed like it was an incident that she got very hurt and
Yeah.
and so that one seems non-consensual and very rough and deserving of maybe protection. The other ones, I don't know how we can even establish that because
no
that's
way
a
to
lot
know.
of
She was the only one there
yeah.
who's alive now.
But I do think she, and not to excuse her, or maybe to excuse her, I don't know. I'm not saying that the victims deserved anything. I'm not saying that, and I'm sorry for the victims, and I'm sorry for the victim's family, but I do think this was truly trauma.
Yeah.
And in so many instances, we've heard, like, these are traumatic events that led to these things, but, like, this is, like, actual, like, triggering.
Yeah.
And I guess the only thing that doesn't defend that is that it became more, like, systematic.
That's the thing, is it did become a pattern, and it became, okay, we're gonna kill another guy so we can get their car, and then we're gonna go here, and then, oh, the cops know, so now we have to kill another guy and get their car.
Yeah.
And it moved on from just being, like, self-defense or a, like, triggered reaction to what became a very systematic, like, movement.
Yeah, I think we can assume, like, well, the first one was defense, and we can assume that the second one was a post-traumatic stress thing, but then we can assume that she saw the benefit of a situation like that.
I think, she saw it as a much easier way out of the prostitution gig than anything she had until that point.
Because she gave no fucks anymore.
She didn't have, like, a ton of education. She wasn't, like, an incredibly, smart woman as far as, like, book smarts go.
Right.
So she, like, what other job could she really have gotten that wouldn't have been just as soul crushing? She just seems like one of those people who was so broken down early in life that
she was a broken down person.
Where they even fit, like, we don't even have a place for them in our society.
I mean, she could have found listen, people find places. They do. Like, you could get a job at a convenience store.
At a diner.
Or Walmart, whatever. You can get your life together. Some people do without, go through extreme trauma and just fucking bounce back like nobody's business and work hard and do stuff. She was not that person to do that.
Exactly.
And she was not receiving help in order to
get
to
a
place where she could do that.
She had no support system. Her parents didn't care about her. She had been, I think, abused sexually and physically by her grandfather and one of his friends. And it just, she just had no one to lean on. And then she met Tyria, and they started dating. And she was, like, I guess, happy for a minute. And then what really fascinates me about Aileen is that she pled guilty because she did murder all of these people, but then she still, like, didn't really expect to go to jail for it. Like, for a long time, she could not fully comprehend her own sentence.
I mean, I wonder if I feel like it's like one or two things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she thought that, like, the trauma that she experienced was going to be enough to
have the sympathy vote and
have it, or she really is just that sick that she just thought, I can say it and we're just
they'll forgive me and we'll all just move on with our normal lives.
And in that situation, it kind of reminds me of, like, the Central Park 5 when you see these kids and you're like, just tell us that you did it and we can
you can go home.
And these kids actually thought, like, if they said, yes, I murdered somebody,
then they'll go home.
And that's, like, such a sad simple-minded way of thinking. It's also just, like, based in fear.
100%. And I think she was afraid from day one. Like, I think everything Aileen did was out of fear for her own well-being and for, just, like, her life.
Yeah. And I don't mean simple-minded and, like, they're dumb.
No.
I think it's just, like, they're so afraid and they feel and they believe.
Yeah, it's almost a naivete of just like, but the system will take care of me if I do the right thing.
Which is sad because you've seen that the system doesn't take care of you.
They really don't care.
They really don't care, and the whole like sex worker aspect of it made her even more retarded.
Yeah.
Because they really don't care. I mean, in some ways, she's a white female. She's
a white blonde lady.
She could have had advantages, but she became a sex worker, and then nobody in society gave a shit.
Exactly.
And that just says so much about our society.
Yeah, it's really sad. And it's also so there are 2 documentaries. One that is like way more geared toward just like the money aspect about Aileen and her life going through these trials, and like she gets adopted by this woman who sees her on the news and like starts corresponding with her.
Adopted?
Yeah, like this woman adopts Aileen and like legally becomes her mother, so she is her like guardian and overseer of all her like stuff and legal things.
Right.
And so in the first Nick Bloomfield documentary, like the first half hour is just him trying to come up with an amount of money that he can pay this woman so that he can talk to Aileen. Yeah, it's real gross.
And the money
looking.
is going to her.
To her, yeah.
So
but like it's to her, but like for Aileen, and like she wants like $25,000 or $20,000 or something.
This woman was so used. Again, do not excuse her crimes, but shit, man.
And so yeah, they're trying to like make this money for this and this guy's just like trying to make a documentary about Aileen. He makes it in like 93, 94 when she's going through another round of trials. And yeah, it just like was real weird, but she also did the same sort of thing that like Charlie Manson does in Mindhunter, where she'll agree, say, hey, come on down to the prison, I'll talk to you, and then once they get there, she's like, no, I don't want to talk to you, I'm not talking to you today, and kind of jerks them around a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I feel like I feel like her and her team knew the kind of leverage that they could have with this story, especially because this was right when the Son of Sam law was overturned, but like, so she could get money from this whole situation.
I don't even understand the benefit of it if you're going to
die. No, that's the thing, is she was literally given what, like 6 death sentences?
I think I can...
It's like so many different courts put her to death.
Yeah.
And she's like, how many times are you gonna try and kill me?
She has 6 counts of first-degree murder and 6 death sentences.
Yeah, each one got its own death sentence. But
so she was only charged with 6 of the 7. And I'm assuming the 7th was just like, I guess, maybe the first one where it was...
Oh, probably, yeah, where it was ruled self-defense or something.
Yeah. Oh, I guess not. The first murder, she was...
Interesting.
But, yeah, so she was sentenced to death 6 times, 6 counts of first-degree murder, and then she finally died by lethal injection in 2002.
Oh, lethal injection, not electric.
Nope.
Chair? Interesting.
Because in the 2000s, I think...
Have they gotten rid of...
I don't think anybody current in the 2000s had... You know, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was either hanging, shooting, or...
Oh, yeah, there are still states where you can get hung, yeah.
You can,
just FYI, guys, I think New Hampshire is one of them.
I think Texas you can actually choose firing squad.
Yeah, I think so.
I think but you'd have to, like, elect to say that you want.
You have to be like, I'd like to die by firing squad, and then that's a case where they still give some of them blanks and some of them real bullets, so no one knows who actually murdered this person, so that everyone can sort of live with a clean conscience. Because the documentary, it was in the 90s when it was made, when both of them were made, and so they had Sparky, which was the state of Florida's electric chair. It had a nickname. And it was, they like did a tour of the room and like how the like electrocution would go, and they're like, and then the executioner goes here, and I just sat there and I was like, how the fuck do you get a job as an executioner?
I think I would assume it's something to do with like
how
being in the jail system and just
working your way up to executioner. Like, also, did they get like? I just have a lot of questions about how executioners work now because the death penalty is so few and far between.
5 states that apparently still have the electric chair.
Really?
As of 2015, this is when I'm reading right now. There's only 5 states that have it, and they are Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia.
All in the South.
All in the South. Yeah. I can't even imagine. Also, all of them are. Full disclosure: I don't believe in the death penalty. I know I'm gonna get hate. Ha! But all of these ways to die are horrible. I think the
lethal injection is probably the best, if you want to say best, but I don't.
But then there's also research that's saying that you can't move and you can't scream, but it's very painful, internally. As
all your organs shut down or whatever it
does. I don't know how they wouldn't even know that, but apparently that it is very painful. But that is also coming from people that don't believe in the death penalty, so I'm not sure. And again, I don't believe in the death penalty, but again, I'm saying that the source of this information might not be accurate because of that.
I'm wrong. New Hampshire got rid of the death penalty in 2019. So, there are 21 states without the death penalty, thus 29 states with the death penalty. So we're coming up on half and half.
Half and half.
It's getting there.
And before...
Yeah, the states of Washington and New Hampshire were within the last 2 years, so...
And before I get a whole bunch of messages and emails that you don't believe in the death penalty, what if it happened to your blah 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 ... Then I would kill them myself and then I would go to jail.
It's also cheaper to keep people in prison than it is to administer the death penalty.
But I really did you ever see that movie Little Nicky?
No.
It was a really bad movie about Adam Sandler being the son of the devil, and in it Hitler in hell has to get a pineapple shoved up his ass every day. And I'm just yes, every single day he just comes over and he's like, oh god, it's time for the pineapple shoved up my ass, and I'm like, yes, this is what should happen.
Oh man,
we should shove pineapples up our ass daily. No? Alright.
Perfect. Well, that's every so often when my boyfriend and I get into philosophical type arguments, he'll be like, well, I don't agree with most things that skinheads believe, but we both agree that rapists should have their junk cut off. And I'm like, well, that's a fair point, but also okay. This is a weird world you live in, boyfriend. But yeah,
don't hate on him, please. Nobody hate on him.
Execution.
I mean, so she got...
Sorry, now I'm just looking at ways to die by capital punishment, and there are 6 states that still allow lethal gas, 3 that allow hanging, only 2 now, Delaware and Washington. Oh no, only 1, it's Delaware, because...
Of hanging?
Yeah, New Hampshire and Washington don't allow the death penalty anymore.
Wow.
But New Hampshire and Washington I knew New Hampshire was one of them. My mom lives there.
And firing squad, right?
Yep, firing squad. Mississippi, Oklahoma, and Utah.
Oh, so Texas no longer, huh?
Yeah, but still all the South and Mormons.
Which we will be talking about in another episode. Yeah, so she died by lethal injection. I do think, Charlize Theron said that she was a very nice individual.
Yeah, because she met her before
Yeah.
She died while she was doing all the research.
Yeah, I think she died right when the movie was coming out, right?
Yeah, because the movie came out in 2003, and she was put to death at the end of 2002.
Which just seems so convenient. I don't know. She could have been put to death anything, but they were a year before.
Jeb Bush he was the governor of Florida at the time, and signed, she could have lived out her sentences in prison or whatever, but he signed the gubernatorial decree or whatever it's called to put her to death.
Of course he did.
Yeah. But she's one of the only women in the country to be death penalty.
In the country?
I think so. To like actually die.
No. There's a movie about. Funny thing is, so there's a movie about a woman that got put to death, and her mom actually like left when she was like 4 years old, so she didn't really know what her mom looked like. But I guess she looked like the actress that played this. So my grandfather took my mom to see this movie, and she was like, he was like, "That's your mom." And for a while, my mom was like, "My mom's this killer that was put to death." But yeah, the death penalty is a whole thing. But there's a few. It looks like since 1976, we've had 16 people be put to death.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
That's not 16 women.
Yeah.
To be since 1976.
Yeah, because women weren't allowed to get the death penalty until 1976.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they had a moratorium on capital punishment.
Interesting.
Or I think that was all capital punishment? I'm sorry, guys. We're looking at Wikipedia.
Yeah, I know there were some in the 1940s, women put to death. But anyway, her life sucked.
Yeah.
And I'm not excusing her behavior, but I do think it was a lot of trauma. And we did have somebody in 1940. We had a woman in 1945 be executed by electric chair. Of course, she was an African American maid in Georgia. There's been some. It's not a lot, but there's been some.
Yeah.
The death penalty to me is so sad and so weird. Not that I don't want these fuckers to die. Also, what happened to my cereal bowl?
Yeah, no, this is gross. This is really weird, and it's doing the same thing that the Sour Patch Kids cereal
like
did,
gelatin.
where it's like turning into a weird sugary gelatinous thing that I'm terrified to eat or look at.
I just think that the death penalty is so uneven. It's usually people that are coming from a background of non-privilege. But she definitely had a sucky life. I definitely think this is a case of circumstance, sucky circumstances versus like a methodical killer. I mean, she became methodical, but
she's not.
It's like a necessity killer.
Exactly. She's not like oh fuck, I can't remember her name, but there was the serial killer in like 1800s in Massachusetts who was a nurse. The Angel of Death, I think. Yeah, who like got off and like enjoyed like toying with people's lives. Yeah. But Aileen Wuornos, it seems like she just figured out this was the quickest way to get things she wanted.
I mean, we have so many of those in the mail.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have some. Like, I eventually want to talk about the LaLaurie house in New Orleans, which is beyond cruelty, and that was a lot of the actual like madam. The head of the household, the female and male, which we find that a lot. I feel
there's a lot of men, women.
I feel like when they get together, then it becomes more methodical. I feel like separate men become more methodical and more, and that again, this is a generalization. It's 100% not true, but like Aileen, Lee was different because she did become like MO oriented, and she did commit crimes.
And it was. She also had a clear MO. It was need money, need car, like need something, as opposed to someone like our last guy, the son of Sam, where it's like if you look at all the people he killed, the only thing they had in common was long brown hair.
Right.
And so it's like, well, what's that MO?
Even that is like a necessity kill. It's a necessity kill, whereas like his thing was like, I'm gonna go shoot someone.
Just gonna go shoot someone.
I'm gonna shoot a girl that usually has dark hair, or I'm gonna shoot a couple.
Yeah.
Like that's like a specific thing.
And you don't see a lot of women doing stuff like that. Like, women are much more crimes of passion, or it's that, like, really psychologically messed up, like, I'm exerting all this power over you.
I think it's like, this is going to be so ridiculous, but anyway, I think it's like privilege. I think like we see a lot of like methodical, like more like this is my MO. I'm going to take them to a basement and I'm going to make them
chain
into
them
doll
up and
people and blah blah blah. I think that's like a white male thing because I think, and I don't think it's because like white males are genetically different. I think it's privilege.
Yeah.
I think if like a black guy is in a neighborhood and he wants to kill somebody, he has disadvantages that a white male doesn't.
Yeah.
And a female, the same thing. The way that society looks at you is different. And as a white male, there's an air that you have like instilled in you.
Yeah, that you can just do
world
anything.
Will let you do things and not question you.
Yeah, it's like that scene in The Good Place where they're like, well, yeah, people can become better in the good place because we don't have to worry about food or shelter or, like, stability.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, if you're a white man, you generally don't have to worry about any of those things. You got all that on lock, so you can just fuck around and do whatever else you want while the rest of us are out here working 6 jobs and trying to, like, feed ourselves.
You have time on your hands. You have your society on your hands.
Yeah, you're the type of people who just fail upward. Like, I have a friend from college where I'm like, you are one of the dumbest people I've ever met. I love you dearly. How do you keep getting better jobs?
Yeah. Whereas I feel like when we see females or even minorities or even, I don't know, different subgroups that are not white Christian males, when they kill, it seems like desperation or necessity. And then again, or rage.
Yeah.
100% rage.
But
like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Random white men killing trans girls.
Yeah. It's like I don't give a fuck anymore. Society already fucking hates me.
Yeah, so fuck it all. Who cares?
Yeah, and I feel like we see that a lot more. Yeah. I mean, we'll discuss killers that aren't like that, or supposed killers that are not like that. And that break those norms, but I feel like she was the closest to kind of breaking that norm. But in the same way, you can still like trace it back to necessity and a rage. And
there are very few female serial killers that you can pinpoint and really be like, no, they were just twisted and they were just doing it for the joy of doing it, the same way that like Ted Bundy or whoever was doing it.
I mean, I feel like and there was that movie, something. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was Juno Girl.
Ellen Page. Oh, Hard Candy?
No. Oh. The one that was a true
story. Okay.
And she was a woman. We'll have to go into it and
find it, yeah.
But she basically was a caretaker for these girls, and she got off on it. She had enough time where she was like, torture them, and she got other people to torture them.
Yeah.
And all that, and then that's the kind of crime that we don't typically see for females because they.
Yeah, no,
it's like
it's
that
true.
kind of level of twisted.
That,
it's usually like white male.
That like angel of death kind of like, I'm going to like up your medication to this and then watch you suffer and then take it all the way down and almost kill you. Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. But like this, like we don't usually see this like level of brutality and violence because I don't think that they are brought up in a society where they think
that's something that they can do as well. And like, yes, you can do you can be anything you want to be, but like
not
really,
start a feminist movement
we
on
should. We should just tell everyone not to torture equally. But I think it is something that it's like when you are bringing up a little girl, don't go out at night in the dark. Don't go anywhere alone. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. But boys are just be safe. Don't hurt yourself. No one's like, don't rape a girl.
Yeah, they're just like, go do you, just be home
have
by
fun,
this time.
Be home by this time. Yeah, no one's like, hey, don't attack random strangers on the street. No. Don't follow girls at night. They're gonna think you're gonna murder them. Like, no one tells them that.
Women are put under like this, like so many like rules. And structures.
And so I think it's a lot harder for women psychologically to break out of that and to be on that other side of things where it's
because
like, well, if they can be brutally murdering cats, I can be brutally murdering cats.
Exactly, because we're already thinking that society is out to get us.
Mm-hmm.
Society already proves it to us like every single freaking
Son of
day.
Sam.
Son of Sam.
Long-haired brunette women. Women in New York were dyeing their hair blonde like fucking crazy so they wouldn't be a target.
I also saw this documentary recently called India's Daughter. And if you can't find the documentary, it's because it's banned. So look on YouTube, India's Daughter. The whole thing is there. And also you can watch Delhi Crime on Netflix. And this woman was brutally, I mean, like, I have never seen brutality like this. Gang raped. Brutally. They took her insides out through her vagina. They disemboweled her through her vagina. And also, side note, I also saw a recent, in America, crime that very similar. Like, where they disemboweled. Anyway, so this is apparently a thing. So the crime was disgusting enough.
Yeah.
These people were disgusting enough. The society, what society was saying, what they were saying was like, well, why was she had a boyfriend and she was out at 9:30 at night with this guy. She was an unclean woman. And then the defense attorneys and then these other guys that were like
piling and piling.
Just political leaders going, well, she was out and she was doing that.
India is a fucking weird place.
It's weird, and but I will say, like, I want to say, like, America's not like that. But every time somebody is brutalized, every time a woman is raped or whatever, they are attacked just as much as they were attacked during the fucking attack.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And so I think that is why we don't see, because women don't come from an area of privilege. Minorities don't come from an area of privilege.
I mean,
they think it's going to happen.
Look at the Stanford girl, and I'm so sorry, I don't remember her name. I don't remember anyone's name in that case, but the girl who was passed out in the campus.
The one that videotaped, or is it a different one?
I don't think so. It was the guy who got 6 months because the judge was like, but his swimming career.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you hard. And it's this girl was a pretty white girl with all the privilege in the world. She went to Stanford, for God's sake, and she still couldn't get adequate justice for something that clearly happened to her and was wrong.
Well, there was even a recent one where there was a guy who videotaped him
attacking someone,
and he goes, I guess I lost my virginity through rape in the video, and the judges and people were like, well, we really don't want to ruin his life. Ruin his life? He
already ruined someone's life. Yeah, so we can totally ruin his life.
Do you care about ruining her life?
I don't care about his life. His life sucks.
Right? His life is not worthy. I'm sorry, his life is not worthy. And you think he's gonna grow and become anything of substance?
And that's what truly is the biggest problem, is there's no systems in place to help these people who've done these wrong things actually come to terms and understand the things they've done wrong.
No. They become politicians that do that shit.
End of his days, Charlie Manson thought that he was preaching the correct word of whoever the fuck.
Again, we still don't know the philosophy of Manson.
No one knows. Also, I still am fuzzy on why he carved that swastika into his forehead.
Because he's Manson.
Just don't know.
Because he's crazy.
Don't know. It might have been that episode of Shameless where one of the characters is going to paramilitary school or juvenile center, and his mom carves a swastika in his forehead, so he'll at least have a gang to fit in with.
Oh, that's so
creepy and weird. Yes. So I'm like, maybe he did that because everyone was like, "Fuck you, you murdered Sharon Tate."
Yeah. Well, so that's Lee.
That's Lee and her murders of opportunity.
I think she's a complicated chick.
She's a complicated woman. I
feel bad for the victims, but I also feel bad that she was in a society treated so.
I feel very badly for that, but I'm really glad that the lawyer that she had in her first trial, who she hired off a bus bench ad, is fraud. No one in Florida will hire him. No one will talk to him.
Really?
Yeah, because he totally botched the whole thing. He was a really new attorney, and he was like, well, just plead guilty, and then it'll all be fine. And that's not how he works. And then the documentary that Nick Bloomfield made, the first one, which was The Selling of a Serial Killer, I want to say is the name, he's totally portrayed as just being money hungry and just wanting money for the story and to get the money and to get all the things in place so he can get the royalties and the rights and the money.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, and in that sense, then you understand why these laws are trying to be put in place.
Exactly. To
stop.
protect people in these vulnerable situations.
But it's not actually going after the people that are probably going to make money out of it.
Never.
It's usually the lawyers, it's usually the detectives, it's usually like the
it really it should be because that's something in Lee's case. Two of the cops involved in the case were already trying to sell their story to Hollywood before the case was even officially in trial. And it's like, fuck you. Fuck you. This isn't even your story to tell. Like, parts of it are, but it certainly as a whole is not.
It's interesting, because we do watch the shit, so I guess...
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, yes, but, complications.
It's very complicated, but it's something where, like, I don't know how Monster, the Charlize Theron movie, got made, but I would imagine there was some type of agreement with Lee to use her likeness and her image and all of that.
Obviously, because she seemed very cooperative in the process.
Yeah, with Charlize and everyone. Yeah. So, it ultimately, I think, turned out fine.
It didn't turn out fine at all.
I know she died. She got murdered by electric chair or whatever. Lethal injection.
And 7 people died. But other than that, it turned out, I mean, Charlize got an Oscar,
right?
right?
Christina Ricci was in that movie.
Sure she was.
Bruce Dern. It's a great movie.
So, don't kill people
at all.
For like, the sake of Hollywood.
This is...
You can actually write scripts about murdering people instead of murdering people.
You could do a lot of research on people who murdered other people and then write a script about it.
And then Hollywood will probably not make it because
they hate new concepts.
Yeah, they're probably like, oh no.
No, we don't own that franchise. So no. How do we sell toys for that?
I don't think we really like helped anything. So that's so you can email us at
podcerealkiller.
You can email us at podcerealkiller@gmail.com. You can follow us at podcerealkiller on all social media. We have a Goodreads, we have a Spotify, we're on pretty much every single kind of podcast app you can imagine.
Platform.
Because I was applying to all of them this week. Like a crazy person, so you have no excuse.
Everywhere,
every app,
iTunes,
and on YouTube,
Spotify, Google Play.
Be sure to rate us, subscribe, comment, send us all kinds of cool stuff. We will respond to you, and we will shout you out because we love people.
Yeah, and we will definitely take recommendations if you have specific
pairings,
murderers, serials, anything.
Yeah, we're super excited to hear your take on things and what you think is a perfect pairing, because some of them are not always ideal.
It's just, you don't even want to see it.
Yeah, so gross. So Hostess Donettes Cereal.
You gotta eat it fast. If you're gonna eat it at all, you gotta eat it fast.
Knifed sideways and slightly like falling. And Lee knife down, because all murderers get a knife down.
All murderers get a knife down, no matter the circumstances.
No matter what the circumstances. But watch Monster.
Yes. Yeah. All right. See you later.